Well, hello. Jen Patero here, and today is May. It's actually May 2nd. Gotta explain, I did make a video on May 1st, but thinking back on the topic of yesterday's video, I decided it was a little more applicable next weekend. And the reason for this is I totally forgot. I don't know how this happened, but I totally did not realize that next weekend is Mother's Day. So I'm going to share that video. May have the wrong date, maybe a little inaccurate what I share, but I may share that next week if I don't remake the video, which I might. Anyways, the topic more applicable next weekend, and then this weekend or today, I was thinking I might cover another tip. Not really a trick, but a tip that sounds super silly, almost too silly to mention, yet it's a challenge we all face, myself included, as I go through my body compositional changes and improvements, and as I shift, my body and my lifestyle. And I think I'm understanding it's the case for some other people that I'm coaching as well. So just wanted to throw it out there that when you're going through something like this, when you're working with a coach to achieve a goal, you cannot cheat. Do not cheat. It doesn't serve anybody any good. And I say that because the reason sometimes I have felt, I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about it, writing down inaccurate information or not capturing information at all. And I think that way because when I step on the scale, I'm not seeing what it is I want to see or what I expect to see based on what I did the day before. And so I think I don't want to let my coach down. I did everything I needed to do. And the scale's not reflecting that. So maybe I don't write it down. Or maybe I make it look a little better than it does. He would never know. But it doesn't do any good. I will know. And I will internally, that mental talk, beat myself up about doing that, which causes stress and all these other things. And I don't need that in my life. And for two, he needs all of the accurate information. And if for some reason the scale does go a little wonky, a little sideways, then there's probably a reason. And if necessary, we can dig into that and find out what it is. If not, it's just a blip and things get back on track and it's not a big deal. But then the other thing I think about too, as I'm internally battling, do I write down a number or do I not? Which, by the way, I always write down numbers when I'm in a prep type situation. I'm not so good about always tracking right now based on not having access to a scale. I don't bring my scale with me if I'm away for the weekend. But anyways, that's a whole other story. I always write it down and I'm always super accurate because I need Robert to know, but also if I'm to look back on this a year from now, 2 years from now, I want to know that I'm looking at 100% accurate information about what the process looked like for me based on what I was consuming, my activity level, what I was doing at that time. So very important to always accurately track, and also very important to accurately assess your nutrition and accurately track your nutrition. So I use that app, Carb Manager, and I enter into there everything that I eat pretty well always. I don't think I have missed a day in over a year. Anyways, tracking it, and when I'm trying to, even if I'm out at a restaurant, trying to track as accurately as I possibly can. And it happened just today. I was out for lunch with customers for work, and I had to ask the waitress, this piece of salmon, do you have any idea how much it weighs. And she did not mind at all. I do it all the time. They don't mind running to the back to find out it was an 8-ounce piece of salmon. Well, great, because you know what? If I were to gauge that on my own, I probably would have said 6 ounces and I would have been off by 2. So I try and be as accurate as I possibly can. Sometimes you can't be. Sometimes you're eating at a friend's place and you're served a meal and you don't know, nor do you have a scale. Don't expect you to carry one in your back pocket, but use your absolute best guess and err on the side of caution. If I think, oh, I'm gonna eat a chicken like drumstick, 2 to 3 ounces, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and go with 3. I would rather overestimate than underestimate. Don't cheat by saying, maybe it's only 1 or 1.5. Like, be as accurate and honest as you possibly can in your tracking with your macros as well. Because again, it's not going to hurt anybody but you in the process. If you then can't figure out why, your scale weight isn't changing, well, maybe if you were to look at, your macros and how accurate they were, maybe they're just that far off that it's not allowing the shift in the scale. Just something to think about. And I always, and I hope everybody really is always as honest and accurate with their macros as possible to see as much success. You've got a goal. You want to achieve the goal. So do everything you possibly can to achieve it, is my mentality or my philosophy anyways. And then the other piece I wanted to chat a little bit about in being not cheating is with my workouts, with your workouts. When I am lifting, I will sometimes lose track. Your brain starts to wander, right? And I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and then I start my mind drifts off, and sometimes I think, was that 10 or was that 9? I always assume I have not done the extra, right? So if I'm trying to decide if this is my 8th, my 7th, or my 8th, I'll always say, must be my 7th rep. And then because I would rather do 11 than do 9, right? Like I'd rather do more than I need to than do less. So something to think about, and that's how I function. It happens, unfortunately, more often than I'd like to admit. I think my older brain is just, I don't know, failing me sometimes these days, but I certainly always make sure I do as many reps, as many sets as I need to. And it happened the other day. I'm like, oh shoot, because I'm pretty good about tracking on my Strong app. And I thought, I'm pretty sure I've done 3 sets, but I didn't record. Like, it looks as though I've only done 2. So I did an extra one. Like, I did an extra full-on set just to make sure. I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. So don't cheat. Cheaters never win, is the moral of my story. And I guess the last thing around using weights and the opportunity to maybe cheat a little is not pushing yourself, not adding extra weight and saying, you know what, I don't really feel it. I mean, if you legitimately cannot do it, like, I don't want you to push yourself beyond and injure yourself. Like, if you physically can't do it with proper form and technique, then don't do it. But if you're trying to lessen the workload just because, not really feeling it today, that's cheating. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't let yourself do that. Because it's not going to help you achieve that goal that you're working so hard to accomplish. And honestly, if you do it once, then I feel then your brain might be okay with doing it more often, right? But if you always push yourself, then you will continue to always push yourself, and in the end, you will win. Cheaters never win. I truly believe it. Anyways, that's it for today. My tip is don't cheat. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. Cheaters never win. Anyways, enough of my rant, enough of my vent. Have a fantastic week as always, and we'll chat next week on Mother's Day. Take care, guys. Bye for now.